A woman terrorized for 7 years. Stalked, attacked, and left in fear. Then, one day, she vanishes. 2 weeks later, her body is found, her hands and feet bound, a nylon stocking wrapped tightly around her neck, and toxic substances coursing through her system. The police call it suicide. But does that really add up? How does a woman tie herself up, strangle herself, and inject a lethal dose without leaving any evidence behind? Join us as we uncover the terrifying details of her life, the shocking contradictions in the case, and the haunting theories that continue to baffle investigators. Welcome back to the Crime Keepers, where we unravel the darkest mysteries and uncover the truths hidden beneath the surface. Today, we're delving into one of the most unsettling unsolved cases in Canadian history, the tragic and perplexing death of Cindy James. Yet, despite the overwhelming evidence, law enforcement remained skeptical. Did she orchestrate an elaborate deception, or was she the victim of a relentless predator? Stick with us as we examine the eerie details, the conflicting theories, and the lingering questions that make this case one of true crime's greatest enigmas. It all began in 1982, when Cindy James, a 44-year-old nurse and former school administrator, started receiving chilling phone calls. At first, they were brief and silent. Then, the harassment escalated, threatening notes, cut-and-paste ransom-style letters, and disturbing images began appearing at her home. One note read, "Soon, Cindy." Another simply had the words "dead meat." Her porch lights were smashed, and someone left mutilated dolls on her doorstep. Whoever was behind this knew where she lived, what she was doing, and exactly how to terrify her. But the worst was yet to come. As the months passed, Cindy started experiencing terrifying physical attacks. One night, her close friend Agnes and her husband Tom found her outside, unconscious in her backyard with a nylon stocking wrapped around her neck. She had no memory of what had happened. Another time, she was discovered inside her car, dazed, bruised, and with her hands and feet bound. She had a hypodermic needle mark on her arm, but no syringe was found at the scene. The attacks grew increasingly brutal. On one occasion, she was found with a deep stab wound through her hand, barely clinging to consciousness. Despite these alarming incidents, police remained skeptical. Every crime scene had one crucial element missing: evidence of a perpetrator. The authorities were becoming frustrated. Despite Cindy's detailed reports, they found no footprints, no fingerprints, and no conclusive evidence of an intruder. Over time, their belief shifted from Cindy being a victim to Cindy being the mastermind of an elaborate hoax. They suggested she was staging the attacks for attention. Despite her genuine fear and repeated hospital visits, desperate for answers, Cindy hired private investigator Ossie Caban. At first, even Caban was doubtful. But after spending time with Cindy and seeing the extent of her distress, he became convinced that she was genuinely in danger. He even attempted to follow her one night, only to find that she had vanished from his sight for an extended period, later reappearing terrified and disoriented. Something, or someone, was out to get her. Cindy's fear and paranoia took a toll on her mental health. She was hospitalized multiple times and diagnosed with paranoia and schizophrenia. Some experts believed she was suffering from dissociative episodes, possibly self-inflicting the harm she reported. Others suggested she was being manipulated or gaslighted by someone close to her. Her ex-husband, Dr. Roy Makepeace, was questioned multiple times, as Cindy had confided in friends that he had threatened her. Yet, no direct evidence linked him to the crimes. The deeper investigators looked, the murkier the case became. On May 25, 1989, Cindy James vanished. She had just been out shopping, and there was no indication that she was planning to disappear. Her car was found near a bank, with blood smeared on the driver's side door and her wallet contents scattered on the ground. 2 weeks later, the worst fears were realized. Her body was discovered in the garden of an abandoned house, miles from where her car had been found. Her hands and feet were hogtied. A nylon stocking was wrapped tightly around her neck. A lethal dose of morphine and other sedatives was found in her system. Yet, there was no syringe, no bottles, no way to explain how she could have injected herself before tying herself up. The police ruled her death a suicide or an accidental overdose, suggesting that Cindy had staged one last attack that went horribly wrong. The coroner, however, disagreed. The official ruling? An unknown event. To this day, the case remains one of Canada's most baffling mysteries. Was Cindy James a victim of a relentless stalker, or was she suffering from a psychological condition that spiraled out of control? Or is it possible that the truth lies somewhere in between? Now, we turn to you. What do you think happened to Cindy James? Was she a victim of an unseen predator, or was there something more complex at play? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The case of Cindy James is a haunting reminder that sometimes, truth is stranger than fiction. A woman spent years pleading for help, yet in the end, no one could save her. If you found this case as unsettling as we did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Crime Keepers.